Hi, everybody. This is Lisa Keslar from Keslar Insurance, and I'm here today on behalf of Cheers for Charity. And we're highlighting another fantastic organization that's doing great work in the Seacoast. And of course, I'm here with my great friend, JoAnn Burchuk. Hi, JoAnn.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, I'm JoAnn Burchuk. I'm with Lighthouse Physical Therapy and also Cheers for Charity. And today we are very happy to welcome Genevieve, who is with the New Hampshire Theater Project. Welcome, Genevieve, and welcome you to just introduce your organization and tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me today. I think this is very exciting and wonderful. I will be honest, I hadn't heard about this program before, and it's really quite wonderful. So I'm the executive director of New Hampshire Theater Project. We're here in Portsmouth. We have a 50-seat black box theater in the West End. We're right next to Portsmouth Music and Arts Center. Of course, like many other theaters, we've been closed since March. But our mission is that we use the art of theater making to engage, to entertain, and to inspire, to build community and personal transformation. So we really believe that theater has many gifts for the community, that we're not just about entertainment, and that we as artists have an obligation to use our gifts and this beautiful art form to help make the world a better place, if you will. Usually we offer a main stage season in our theater, 7 to 8 productions a year using professional and community actors. We also have workshops and classes for all ages, and then we have a summer camp program for youth. We also do a lot of outreach. You said that Rebecca from Seacoast Mental Health Center recommended us. We've been doing our Elephant in the Room program for about 4 years. And this is a program that goes out into a community, and it uses theater as a way to begin discussions about issues that have a lot of stigma. We've done programs on suicide. We did that here in the city of Portsmouth. We've done programs on opioid abuse and misuse and how it affects families. Things like death and dying, school safety, eating disorders. So we do a play reading, and then we have a community discussion around those issues, and we work with social service organizations that work with those issues. So that's how we've gotten involved with Seacoast Mental Health Center, because they've done a lot of those programs with us. But we worked with about 35 to 40 different organizations around the state. We also do artist in residence programs with schools. Those are all pretty much on hold right now, with the schools being pretty much maybe remote, maybe not, maybe both in one day. And then we do a Theater for Life program, which is professional development for businesses and nonprofit organizations. And we work with a lot of other nonprofits, Arts in Reach, Seacoast Outright, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Future in Sight, the Green Guard Center for Autism, working with them to use theater as ways to help them accomplish their missions. So
that's really interesting. I love how much your group is in so many different organizations and places that you wouldn't think of, like, you know, the mental health and all of that. Now, just to touch on one of the programs that you talked about, the Elephant in the Room, like that sounds fascinating. Now, are you guys creating all that content yourself, or are you able to tag on something somebody else is already doing, or is that what you guys?
That's an excellent question. And it's very funny because we had an advisory committee meeting Wednesday night, and we were talking about that very topic. The first year that we started it, we used some pre-written scripts about issues. But we found that we're most successful when we actually commission scripts around a certain issue. And part of that is that many pre-written scripts are either too long, too good theater, which means that they don't always deal with that one particular issue. There are many other things going on. Or they're kind of written, not sure if I could think of the right word, I call it the kind of chicken soup for the soul theater, where they're really about one issue, but they treat it in a kind of banal way, or a way that's more about self-therapy rather than showing people in dramatic conflict over an issue. So for instance, A Wider Circle is the play we've toured around the state. It was written by Mary Ellen Hedrick, and it's about a family who has a family member with a substance misuse problem. So it's about what happens within that family, rather than just kind of a lecture about it or one person talking about their struggles. We get to see how it affects everyone in the family. So we mostly now search out or commission people to write about a specific issue. But we have used some pre-written scripts. The one on eating disorders was an excellent one, as I recall, that we found. And others we've contacted playwrights and asked permission to cut them. But it's an interesting challenge because there's a lot of stuff out there, but a lot of it isn't very good or doesn't stimulate discussion the way we're looking to make it do that. So
yeah, it sounds like such a enriching program. It sounds really neat. Go ahead, Lisa. You had something.
Oh, I was just curious. That just sounds like there's so many really cool aspects to what you all do. And you sort of prefaced it with, well, we usually used to, or we, you know, now that COVID is here, hopefully not for forever, for much longer. How does that impact your organization, and sort of what are you guys doing now? And, you know, are you planning for 2021? Is that where you're at? Or, you know, can you tell us a little bit about how this has impacted you and where you're going?
Well, it's an interesting challenge. I just had a reporter just literally before I was talking to you all ask, you know, how much money we lost. And I think for last season, it was about $70,000, which doesn't seem like a lot, but we're a very small organization with under a $200,000 budget. So that's pretty big. I can't even tell you about this year because who knows. We've been able to pivot though and do a lot of things online, which is not been as financially rewarding as packing the theater. But we had a NERF grant. And with that, we purchased audio, video, and computer equipment and hired someone part-time so that we can live stream shows. So we've been doing things online. The big advantage to that is, as my marketing director said, our audience used to be within an hour of the seacoast. Now it's the world. We did one show. Since March, we've opened our doors for one weekend, and we had 12 people in the audience, which is all we could have. But we had 245 people online. So that was very exciting. Some of the Elephant in the Room programs that you were interested in, JoAnn, we've done them as kind of Zoom or webinar. So they're live play readings. And then we have discussions with a panel afterwards, and people can join in on the chat. They get streamed through some of the community media. And so in some ways, we're actually able to reach people that we weren't able to before, which is very exciting. Yeah. We're still trying to figure out how to monetize that, as they say. The Elephant in the Room programs are free. Sometimes a social service organization will help us fund it, but we want to make it free for anyone who wants to attend. So.
Yeah. And you also doing theater in the workplace, I guess, kind of in a sense, right? Like, are you still able to move forward with those programs also?
Well, we've done a few. We had some that were contracted when COVID hit, and then we were able to pivot and do them virtually. And some of them work well that way. We have one called The Art of Listening, which actually is a great Zoom workshop, we've found out. Others, public speaking, we do a lot with that. Well, we can do it with Zoom, and I do quite a bit of that myself because I also do private coaching with clients. But it's, you know, it's missing some aspects, and that, you know, they're more exciting when we're doing it in person. That's just beginning to pick up again, and people are realizing that we are here in a virtual world now, and so we are doing some of that. But we also do kind of team building and using theater and improv to do that. That's very difficult to do online and have the same. So those programs are kind of on hold for the moment.
Mm-hmm. What would you like us to get out to the community right now? Where are you focused, and what programs would you like people to really get on board with and enjoy?
Well, our focus right now, I guess, like many nonprofits, is on survival. We were very fortunate to get some grants on, a PPP loan, which was forgiven. So that really helped us through this past 8 months. But going forward, we know we won't be able to open our doors again in full, hopefully until the vaccine is well along the way. So, certainly any help that people can give us in terms of donations. Like every other organization, we're doing our winter appeal. We really want to expand the Elephant in the Room program. It was interesting because 2 years ago, we had a meeting with a group of stakeholders that was funders, some of the artists, some of the social service organizations. And we talked about moving that program online. And we said, well, it's so powerful live that we can't focus on that. Well, now we have to. So what we're going to do is try to develop some of the Elephant in the Room programs for a very specific virtual format and in different levels. So you could get it as a live program, whether in person or on Zoom, or you could get it as a film and present it to your community with a discussion. So trying to make that program have more accessibility in lots of different formats. So that would be one thing. We've also really focused this year on trying to help artists development. I mean, we were able to keep our core staff, but the 70 artists that we would have employed from March to August are out of work. And there's 47% unemployment in the entertainment industry. So many people work freelance. And it's not just the actors, it's our teaching artists, it's the lighting designers and set designers. So we made a commitment to artists as much as we can this year. We have commissioned 3 artists for 6 months to develop new work. We also have a Tiny Mayhem, which is coming up tonight, as a matter of fact, at 8 o'clock, if anyone's interested, which is a kind of a variety show about lots of different experiments in theater. This one is virtual. We're hoping in the future they will be live. So we're really investing in our artists, particularly young artists, but not all, and trying to offer them a way to keep working, even though it's difficult in this pandemic. So I would say, support for helping us grow the Elephant in the Room program and support for helping us work with our artists. These same artists are also ones who go out into the community and teach and offer their services in that way. So we want to give them a chance to be creative and to do some new work to help our souls for, as we all work to do the best we can in these, as I keep calling them, very challenging and interesting times.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a strange year, and the impact to your industry specifically has been so severe. So I so appreciate you sharing, your perspective and your experiences. We talked about that, there are ways for people to get involved or get interested or to do that. How can they learn more, Genevieve? What's the best way for them to get more information about the New Hampshire Theater Project?
The best way is to visit our website, which is just nhtheaterproject.org. If you go to Onstage Now, you'll see all the different programs that we have going on. There's including an applied theater work that you can be part of if you want. You fill out a form and someone will contact you and we will be getting your story as part of a larger piece we're doing down the road. If you want to support us, you can become a sponsor. You can become a patron for one of the solo stage artists or help out however you can. If you want to learn more about the Elephant in the Room program, or all of that is on the website. So it's nhtheaterproject.org, and theater is spelled with an R-E.
That's perfect. Well, we so appreciate you taking the time to share this with us today and give us a great overview of all the amazing, I can't believe how much work you guys do. It's mind-boggling, but it's really impressive, and you can see why this makes such a difference in the community in so many ways. So we thank you for all that you do. We thank you for sharing, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Genevieve. It was so nice to meet you.